Morning, brethren. Psalm we're going to be thinking about today is one of my favourite psalms. I love singing it. Psalm 116. There are many wonderful themes in this psalm. And the verse that I want us to think about this morning is verse number 9. The psalmist says, "I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living." The context here is important. The psalmist has been speaking about being in a situation of almost facing death, of him crying out to God, of God delivering him. And in verse 8, the verse that immediately precedes the verse that we're thinking about this morning, he says this, "For thou hast delivered my soul from death, mine eyes from tears, and my feet from falling." So it's in the context of God having delivered him from what was a very dangerous and indeed a death-threatening situation. In the light of that, the psalmist says, "I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living." Two things really are meant by that. One, he will walk before the Lord in the sense of what we were thinking about yesterday, doing God's will, seeking to obey God. But not only that, also walking before the Lord in this sense, going about his daily life, knowing that God is there with him, and living as though the Lord were standing beside him. I think this is a great verse and a great help to us in our sanctification. As we go about our daily activities, whether it's in our own home, whether it's when we go out to work in the mornings and we're in the midst of our daily employment, whether it's when we're out with friends, wherever we are, we should walk before the Lord in the land of the living. We should live in the knowledge that God is actually present with us. The mystics of the past used to talk about practicing the presence of God. And I think partly this is what this verse is speaking about. Walking side by side with God. You remember Enoch, the book of Genesis. It was said of Enoch that he walked with God. God was his constant companion. He lived as though God was right there beside him, so that no matter where he was, no matter what he was doing, his behaviour was governed by the fact that God was looking on. And isn't that a great inspiration, a great motivation, a great help to us to live godly lives? Isn't this a great help to us in times of temptation to sin? Can you honestly commit that sin while God is there with you, while you're walking before the Lord in the land of the living? So take this verse and make it a verse that reminds you of God's presence, God's companionship with you every day in life, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. It'll be a help and a comfort, and it'll also be a source of strength to you in overcoming temptation. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. May the Lord bless you today again.